Hello and welcome to English classes. In this episode, I'm going to discuss a poem with you on children by Khalil Gibran. This is the third lesson in your syllabus. This poem is very interesting. On children offers new insights into the parent-children relationship. And it rejects the conventional ideas of bringing up children. Let us read the poem before we analyze it or understand or appreciate it. Let me read it to you. On Children by Khalil Gibran. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of infinite, and he bends you with his might. Let your bending in the author's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrows that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. I hope you made some understanding of this poem after reading it. Anyhow, we are going to analyze it in detail. Before we analyze the poem, let us really ask some questions. Let us call them pre-reading activities. Do not think these are the questions posed at you, but in general. What do your parents expect of you? Question number one. Number two, what do you expect of your parents? Have you ever felt your parents are too possessive of you? So let us see. It is very difficult to really take inputs from you now. But I assume that you think just like that. What do your parents expect of you? There is a huge expectation among parents about their children. They expect them to be like them, or they expect them to be better than them because they feel they could not do much in their lives. So they want at least their children to do more. And there are many more expectations. Some parents want their children to be engineers, doctors, this and that. They want them to see in a good profession. They want to see them earning well, doing their best in their lives. So there are a lot of expectations. This is the era of expectations from the point of view of parents, right from LKG to their post-graduation or higher studies. There's a lot of anxiety among parents, and there is a lot of anxiety, and that is leading them to really behave in a particular way. there are a lot of expectations that you can actually see. It does not only mean that expectation or expectations lie only in the minds or hearts of the parents or children, but children also expect quite a lot of things from their parents. They expect parents to be lenient, liberal, give them enough freedom. They think the children think their parents do not really understand them. They don't understand their ideas. They don't support their thoughts. They don't let them enjoy certain thing. So there are expectations from children that they want their parents to give them more freedom. Maybe to fly a kite, going to upstairs, maybe a simple thing that they would like to really do. Sometimes there are restrictions, and that due to anxiety most of the time. But children may not really understand the other side of the parents. However, sometimes it becomes too possessive of parents. The third question is that, have you ever felt your parents are too possessive of you? If you really feel so, you find it very, very uncomfortable relationship. So you can't protest much, or you can't express sometimes. You are unable to communicate your feelings. Sometimes you suffer. So possessiveness is something silly, something serious at the same time. Just like a children saying, this is mine, mine, mine for their toys. If the parents behave or say, it's my child, my child, my child all the time, not allowing or giving enough or required freedom, and life becomes little difficult. So then how to balance this? How to understand? We are going to read an interesting poem by Khalil Gibran. He is a Lebanese American poet who brings out his philosophy of life in his simple and beautiful poetic essays. He is best known for his book, The Prophet. He was called a philosopher, but he refused to accept it. So let us see this poem. It's an interesting one. On Children by Khalil Gibran. This is I was talking about balancing or adjusting or understanding this relationship altogether. So you can see now, there is a gathering. The prophet is supposed to address them. Out of that gathering, a woman stands out and stands up, maybe. Ask the prophet to speak to them of children. They want to know maybe a thing or two about bringing up children or the relationship. So, a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, speak to us of children. She wanted to know, she wanted to learn, she wanted to get insights. So she asked this. The prophet began to answer. may not be to this woman, but to the large gathering he had before him. Your children are not your children. This is the opening remark made by the prophet. The woman who really asked this question to speak to us of children might be shocked to this type of declaration. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Then he clarifies or continues. Your children are not your children. They do not belong to you. You cannot be possessive of your children. You can't, excuse me, you can't overdo. You can't overdo who they are. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They have the desire to live, so they have come. They have the yearning for this life, longing for this life. They want to understand this life. They want to live this life. They have come. So they are the children of this existence. The abundance of existence. They are the gift of this abundance of existence. They are not your children. Say, my child is too possessive. Then he says, they come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. He says, parents are the biological means through which children come. But it should not make them feel that they are the property of them or they belong to them. Property belongs to the one who purchased. But the children are not like that. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. It's quite natural. The children, after they are born, taken care by the parents, they are with them all the time until they grow up, become independent. They are with parents. Children are with parents. But they do not belong to them. As I said, belongingness. See, I cannot really say I belong. So I cannot really say college belongs to me. No, this is wrong. So this kind of a belongingness, they cannot really have. They are there with them, but they do not really belong to them. When the children are with the parents, what the parents should really do? You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. What the parents can really do or give to the children is that love, affection, comfort, clothing, food, nutrition, whatever the best they can really do in their capacities. But they should not give their thoughts. Why? Because, he explains, for they have their own thoughts. Most of the times we think children do not really have any thoughts. They don't know anything. That is the reason why they should be taught something. But they know quite a lot of things in their own way. They understand. They have ideas. Their ideas, thoughts are progressive. They think in a different way. Why should they really think exactly like their parents? Why the children should think in a similar way? They have their own thoughts. They have their own ideas. They have their own perception of this life. They have their own understanding of so many things that is happening around them. So he says, parents can house their bodies. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. Body is a visible thing, but soul is invisible thing. You can house their bodies, give protection, give care, give them comfort, but you cannot really house their souls. You cannot imprison their souls. You cannot really restrict their souls. Soul is the real teacher for any individual. Soul, so we say soulful rendition. So, soul is the teacher, guide for an individual. It's his own existence, inner existence. Body is a visible thing for the world outside, but the soul that you cannot really see. It should be free, it should be enabled, supported, and it should be given freedom. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. The children are always progressive in their thinking. They understand this world in their own way. They have their own perception, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. The speaker here is telling the woman that you can't be too possessive of your children, or you can claim your parentage, but you cannot claim their soul belongs to you or they belong to you, just like that. Which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. The dream world of children is something else. The children want to be something else in their imagination when they are small. As we have another poem, Pablo Neruda's poem, To the Foot from its Child. In that he says, the speaker says in the poem, the child wants to be a butterfly or an apple. So there are just like that. The child or a child wants to be something else. The world of children is altogether different. Something which we cannot even visit, we cannot even see, perceive. So the prophet tells the woman that parents may not house their bodies, may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. They belong to future, which parents cannot visit. Rather than what parents should do, you may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. Parents, most of the parents, stop themselves to think this way. They think they are better, they understand more, they have more knowledge of this world, so and so. They don't try to really see a child in a different way. They don't want to really be like a child. You can see in the image that we really have here on the screen is a scene from the film Hare Jameen. Look at the index finger of the father. He's trying to tell him something. He wanted him to score well, do like his brother, do wonderful things. But never he really tried to really be like him, like his son. He never drawn anything. He did not even touch a paintbrush like him. He can't be there. He can't be in that dream world of a child. What parents can really do, they can strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Because you are the one who belong to the past. Life does not go backward. It does not stay with yesterday. Life is progressive. It's about tomorrow. Children belong to tomorrow. Age-old practices may become outdated at the time the children are actually growing. They are outdated in our own time. They may not really suit the lifestyle or the world outside that we are living. Bringing the children back to those age-old practices, something which was nice in the ancient time is useless today. So life is progressive. It does not stop, tarry with yesterday. It moves on. That's the reason why parents should strive to be like their children. Now, the most important part of the poem. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The prophet, addressing the woman, continues to tell her through this image, a metaphor of a bow and arrow. He compares bow to parents, arrow to the child, and archer as the creator who holds this and leaves the arrow forth. This kind of an image that we really have here. This analogy is more important in this part of the poem. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. They are the living arrows. They are not dead. Full of life, full of energy, full of enthusiasm, full of curiosity of life. So you can really see that. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let us take up one by one. The archer, the creator, who is the creator for the parent and also a child, and he loves this process. As living arrows, the children are sent forth, and they are sent forth towards infinite path of infinity. The children, the world of children, I can say, is a limitless possibility. It is infinite. They really become something. They explore more and more things of the world. They want to do wonderful things. they want to become an engineer or a constructor or a philosopher or a guide, whatever they really want to. They want to be an artist, a painter, or a poet. Anything is possible. So the world of children is limitless. I was referring to you a couple of lines from Pablo Neruda's poem. Child wants to be a butterfly or an apple. That is how it wants to be. So just like that. So the infinite path of infinity, and he bends you with his might, and that his arrows may go swift and far. With his might, with his power, the God wants to bend you, bend the parents. Why do they really bend? They should submit themselves to the will of God and bend. And he would see then the arrows go swift and far towards the infinite distance or path of infinity. Then he also tells, the prophet tells the woman, let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. Don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty of being bent in the hands of the Creator. You should be very glad, because it is the will of God who would like to really do this. For even as he loves the arrows that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. The Creator loves both parents and children, and he would enjoy this process. That's how the parents should be free and make the children independent, which is allowed by the Creator. The woman who was listening to the prophet must introspect not only that particular woman. Now, the speaker is speaking to large number of people or to any audience who is actually reading this poem. So, this is one way of looking at the poem. There is more to it. I have just paraphrased a few things for you in this video lecture. We will see more insights, and we will see or read this poem with different approaches in our next session. Thank you for listening.